All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Saira Mushtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches various India-assisted development projects with his Mauritian counterpart. Says robust development partnership emerged as a key pillar of close ties. Prime Minister to inaugurate new circuit house at Somnath Temple in Gujarat today. Filing of nominations for second phase of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh begins today. Nominations for single-phase assembly elections in Goa and Uttarakhand also start today. Government expresses concern over COVID surge in 6 states. Central teams sent to provide necessary guidance. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 160 crore 32 lakh mark. In cricket, India and South Africa to play their second ODI today at Boland Park in Paarl. And in badminton, PV Sindhu and HS Pranoy enter the quarterfinals of Syed Modi International Tournament in Lucknow. As the number of COVID-19 cases is rising fast in several parts of the country, we appeal to our listeners to be vigilant and to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years of age, get vaccinated. With the new Omicron variant of coronavirus causing concern, please continue to follow the 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Mauritius counterpart, Pravind Kumar Jagannath, jointly inaugurated the India-assisted social housing units project in Mauritius through video conferencing last evening. They also launched the Civil Service College and 8-megawatt solar PV farm projects in Mauritius that are being undertaken under India's development support. An agreement on extending a $190 million line of credit from India to Mauritius for the Metro Express project and other infrastructure projects was also exchanged. An MOU on the implementation of small development projects was also exchanged. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Modi said, India and Mauritius are united by history, ancestry, culture, language and the shared waters of the Indian Ocean. He said, this robust development partnership has emerged as a key pillar of close ties.
Our robust development partnership has emerged as a key pillar of our close ties. Mauritius is a prime example of India's approach to development partnership, which is based on the needs and priorities of our partners.
Speaking at the event, Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Kumar Jagannath said the projects launched will contribute significantly to the development of his country.
At the outset, allow me to express my gratitude and that of the people of Mauritius to the government and people of India for the wide-ranging cooperation and technical and financial assistance provided to Mauritius over the years. We are so much delighted that our partnership and friendship have grown to new heights since you have become the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the newly built Circuit House building near Somnath Temple in Gujarat at 11 a.m. today. He will also address the function through video conferencing. AIR correspondent reports that the new Circuit House building has been constructed by the Gujarat government at a cost of more than 30 crore rupees. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The historic Somnath temple is visited by lakhs of devotees from India and abroad every year. The need for the new circuit house was felt as the existing government guest house was located far from the temple. The new circuit house is located near the Somnath temple. It is also equipped with all facilities including suites, VIP and deluxe rooms, conference room and auditorium hall. The landscaping of the circuit house has been done in such a way that sea view is available from every room. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The process of filing nominations for the second phase of assembly polls in Uttar Pradesh, along with the single-phase polling in Goa and Uttarakhand, will begin with the issuance of notification today. Uttar Pradesh is going to polls in 7 phases from the 10th of February to the 7th of March. The second phase of polling in Uttar Pradesh will be conducted on the 14th of February in 55 assembly constituencies from 9 districts, including 9 assembly constituencies reserved for the scheduled castes. In addition, the single-phase polling in 2 states, Goa and Uttarakhand, will be held simultaneously. 40 seats in Goa and 70 seats in Uttarakhand will go to polls together in this phase. During the UP second phase and the single-phase polling in Goa and Uttarakhand, the nominations can be filed till 28th of January and the scrutiny will be held on the 29th of January. The last date for withdrawal of candidature will be the 31st of January. Meanwhile, filing of nominations for the first phase of polls in Uttar Pradesh ends today and the scrutiny of nomination papers will be held on Monday. More from our correspondent.
A total of 388 candidates have filed their nomination papers for 58 assembly constituencies that are going to polls in the first phase. 205 candidates filed the nomination yesterday. BSP and SP have replaced their 2 candidates each in Agra district, where the last date for filing nomination is closing today. Meanwhile, the SP-RLD alliance has announced the names of 2 more candidates. Neeraj Chaudhary will contest from Bijnor and Vivek Kant from Rampur Maniharan assembly constituency. AIMIM has also released another list of 7 candidates. Aditya Shukla, AIR News, Gorakhpur.
The last date for withdrawal of candidature will be 27th of January, and the picture of the electoral contests will become clear at that stage. In this phase, 58 assembly constituencies, including 9 reserved for the scheduled castes, will go to polls on the 10th of February.
BJP President JP Nadda will be on a visit to Uttar Pradesh today. He will hold meetings with party workers ahead of the assembly elections in the state. Mr. Nadda will campaign from door to door in Bareilly, keeping COVID guidelines in mind. The BJP has announced a list of 34 candidates for Goa assembly elections. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant will contest from Sankalan seat, while Deputy Chief Minister Manohar Ajgaonkar from Madgaon assembly constituency in the upcoming state assembly elections. Announcing the names of the candidates, Party General Secretary Arun Singh said, the list includes 11 OBC candidates. He added that BJP has fielded 3 ST candidates and 1 SC candidate from general seats in Goa. BJP also released a list of 59 candidates for Uttarakhand assembly elections. Party leader and Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami will again contest from his Khatima assembly constituency. State BJP Chief Madan Kaushik will fight from Haridwar seat. Congress yesterday released another list of 5 candidates for the ensuing Goa assembly elections. The party has fielded Elvis Gomes from Panji assembly seat. Congress Central Election Committee cleared the names of the candidates.
India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 160 crore and 32 lakh mark. The Union Health Ministry said that more than 60 lakh vaccine doses have been administered till 7 p.m. yesterday. More than 68 lakh precaution doses for the identified categories of beneficiaries for COVID vaccination have been administered so far. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, Dr. Balram Bhargav said, vaccines have remained beneficial in India. He said, high vaccination considerably reduced deaths during the 3rd wave of COVID-19.
Vaccines have remained beneficial in India, and Vaccine Tracker, which is online tracker, gives a week-to-week, shows the benefit of its ability to reduce deaths considerably among vaccinated compared to unvaccinated. The current surge in India is not witnessing an increase in severe illness and deaths following high vaccination uptake.
Speaking on the occasion, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan said that 94% of the total adult population has received the first dose.
देश की जो एडल्ट पॉपुलेशन है उसके 94% को कम से कम 1 डोज लग गई है, 72% को दोनों डोज लग गई हैं, 52% जो हमारे यंग एडल्ट्स हैं 15 साल से 18 साल के बच्चे, उनको भी 1 डोज लग गई है. दिस नंबर इज 3.84 करोड़.
The Health Secretary said that Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Delhi and Uttar Pradesh are states of concern in view of COVID surge. Mr. Bhushan said the centre is in continuous contact with these states and reviewing the situation.
We are reviewing the situation. We have sent central teams to these states, and those central teams have visited various districts and have then briefed the health administration of these states. और जो केंद्र की टीमें गई हैं, उन्होंने राज्यों के स्वास्थ्य प्रशासन को आवश्यक दिशा निर्देश और परामर्श भी दिए हैं। अगर देश के स्तर पर देखें तो इस समय 11 राज्य ऐसे हैं जहां 50,000 से ज्यादा एक्टिव केसेस हैं, 13 राज्य ऐसे हैं जहां 10,000 से अधिक एक्टिव केसेस हैं लेकिन 50,000 से कम हैं।
Delhi government has capped the maximum price for the RT-PCR COVID-19 test at private laboratories at 300 rupees. The maximum price for RT-PCR samples collected from home will be 500 rupees. Rapid antigen test will be done at 100 rupees.
As the cases of COVID-19 seem to be plateauing in Maharashtra, the state government has said that schools across the state will be allowed to reopen from the 24th of this month. Maharashtra's School Education Minister Varsha Gaikwad said that offline resumption of classes can begin for students from classes 1 to 12 and also for pre-primary students, subject to the permission by concerned district authorities. More details from our correspondent.
In a media interaction, the School Education Minister said the decision to reopen schools has been taken following deliberations with the Pediatric Task Force, parents, teachers, district collectors and education experts. Mrs. Varsha Gaikwad said the consent of parents will be a must to attend physical classes. Stating that health and safety of students continues to remain top priority, Mrs. Gaikwad said the decision to restart schools has been left entirely to the district administration. While detailed orders are yet to be published, the government has said that vaccination of students needs to be ramped up to ensure safe resumption of schools. Meanwhile, a decision to reopen colleges and universities is also likely in the next few days. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
The Kerala government has decided to impose total lockdown on the next 2 Sundays in the wake of continued spike in COVID-19 cases. Essential services will get exemption. School education up to class 12 will be through online classes from today. Curbs have also been imposed on the number of persons attending public gatherings and ceremonies. Districts will be classified into 3 categories and collectors can decide on area-specific restrictions.
In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. Tanuja Nesari, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, AIIA, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. onwards on telephone number 011-2342-1230. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches various India-assisted development projects with his Mauritius counterpart, says robust development partnership emerged as a key pillar of close ties. Prime Minister to inaugurate new circuit house at Somnath Temple in Gujarat today. Filing of nominations for second phase of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh begins today. Nominations for single phase assembly elections in Goa and Uttarakhand also start today. Government expresses concern over COVID surge in 6 states. Central teams sent to provide necessary guidance. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 160 crore 32 lakh mark. In cricket, India and South Africa to play their second ODI today at Boland Park in Parel. And in badminton, PV Sindhu and H.S. Pranoy enter the quarterfinals of Syed Modi International Tournament in Lucknow. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर
8700014242।
The mortal remains of 2 Indians killed in the Abu Dhabi blast on the 17th of January will reach Amritsar this morning. Sanjay Sudhir, Indian ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, tweeted that the Indian Embassy in Abu Dhabi completed all formalities for repatriation of the mortal remains. Highly appreciate the fullest support extended by the government of UAE and ADNOC Group, he added. Earlier, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar expressed solidarity with the UAE in the face of such unacceptable acts in a phone call with Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The UAE on Monday condemned the Houthi attack in the capital Abu Dhabi that killed 3 civilians, including 2 Indians. The Amar Jawan Jyoti flame at India Gate will be merged with the flame at the National War Memorial in New Delhi this afternoon. Official sources said the flame of the Amar Jawan Jyoti will be extinguished and merged with the flame at the National War Memorial. The ceremony will be presided over by the Chief of Integrated Defence Staff. India Gate was unveiled in 1931 and it was built to honour the soldiers of British India who gave the supreme sacrifice. The Amar Jawan Jyoti was set up after the 1971 Indo-Pak War.
The gigantic and spectacular scrolls created under the unique initiative Kala Kumbh have been installed at the Rajpath for the Republic Day 2022 celebrations. These scrolls analyze the potential of art to express national pride and excellence with varied forms of art from diverse geographical locations of the country. These have been diligently researched upon and painted enthusiastically by more than 500 artists who participated in special workshops or Kala Kumbh at Odisha and Chandigarh. Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Govind Mohan, visited Rajpath and inspected the installations. Briefing media persons, Mr. Mohan said that as the country celebrates Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the 750-meter-long scrolls are a unique initiative of the Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Defence. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember revolutionary freedom fighter and founder of the Indian Independence League, Rash Bihari Bose, who died on 21st January 1945.
Rash Bihari was born on the 25th of May 1886 in Bardhaman and was vehemently against the partition of Bengal by the British. In 1908, after the Alipore conspiracy, he came to Dehradun. In Doon, he secretly got involved with the revolutionaries and also came across revolutionary members of the Arya Samaj in Uttar Pradesh and Punjab. After the attack on Viceroy Harding in Delhi on the 23rd of December 1912, Rash Bihari was declared wanted by the British.
He came in contact with Bagha Jatin during the flood relief work in Bengal in 1913 and became extensively involved as one of the leading figures of the Ghadar revolution. Most of the revolutionaries were arrested, but Rash Bihari managed to escape British intelligence and reached Japan in 1915.
Bose, along with Ayyappan Pillai Madhavan Nair, was instrumental in persuading the Japanese authorities to support the Indian independence struggle abroad. In 1942, Bose convened a conference in Tokyo which decided to establish the Indian Independence League. At the League's second conference in Bangkok, a resolution was adopted to call upon Subhash Chandra Bose as the leader of the movement.
I resign my office and appoint Devdeva Subhash Chandra Bose as President of Indian Independence Movement. Now on, Subhash Chandra Bose is your President, your leader in the fight for India's independence.
The League exhorted the Indian prisoners of war taken by Japan during the Second World War to join the Indian National Army. Bose, along with Captain Mohan Singh and Sardar Pritam Singh, played an instrumental role in the formation of Indian National Army on 1st September 1942, which later came to be known as the Azad Hind Fauj.
The Japanese government conferred on him the honor of the Order of the Rising Sun. Unfortunately, Bose was afflicted by tuberculosis and he succumbed to the disease on the 21st of January 1945 in Tokyo. AIR salutes the great freedom fighter.
We also remember freedom fighter and Malayalam writer Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, who was born on 21st January 1908 in Talayola Parambu Kottayam. He was fondly known as Bepur Sultan.
From his childhood days, Bashir was attracted to Gandhian thoughts and ideologies. Bashir was arrested along with his group when he went to Malabar district to take part in the Salt Satyagraha in 1930. Bashir was sentenced to 3 months imprisonment and sent to Kannur prison.
His release, along with 600 of his fellow prisoners, came in March 1931 following the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Once free, he organized an anti-British movement and edited revolutionary journal Ujjivanam, because of which an arrest warrant was issued on him. He avoided arrest by embarking upon a long journey that took him across the length and breadth of India and many places in Asia and Africa for 7 years. He was arrested at Kottayam in 1941 and was sentenced to 2 years and 6 months imprisonment.
Bashir is noted for his path-breaking, down-to-earth style of writing. Bashir was honoured with the Padma Shri in 1982. He left for his heavenly abode on the 5th of July 1994. We salute the great patriot.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago.
The last date to participate in the 5th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha has been extended till the 27th of this month. Prime Minister Narendra Modi conceptualized a unique interactive program, Pariksha Pe Charcha, wherein students, parents, teachers across the nation and also from overseas can interact with him. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has topped the global ranking amongst world leaders with an approval rating of 71%. On the list of the 13 world leaders, US President Joe Biden is ranked at number 6 with a 43% rating. Biden is followed by Canadian President Justin Trudeau, also at 43%, and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison at 41%. In badminton, two-time Olympic medalists PV Sindhu and HS Pranoy progressed to the quarterfinals of Syed Modi International Tournament in Lucknow. Top seed Sindhu got the better of American Lauren Lamb in her second-round match of women's singles, while fifth seed Pranoy defeated compatriot Priyanshu Rajawat in men's singles at BBD Indoor Stadium. Sindhu will take on sixth-seeded Thai shuttler Supanida Katthang in the last 8th stage. Pranoy will clash with France's Arnaud Merkel in the quarterfinals.
In cricket, India and South Africa will square off with each other in the second and penultimate ODI today at Boland Park in Par. South Africa will have an edge as they are leading the three-match series 1-0. Proteas dominated the first one-day international with a superlative batting and bowling performance. In Australian Open, British tennis stars Andy Murray and Emma Raducanu were knocked out of the tournament yesterday after losing their respective second-round matches in Melbourne. Former world number 1 Murray lost to 120th ranked Taro Daniel of Japan in men's singles, while US Open champion Raducanu was defeated by Danka Kovinic in women's singles. Garbiñe Muguruza, Anett Kontaveit and Diego Schwartzman also made early exits. Meanwhile, Daniil Medvedev, Stefano Tsitsipas and Andrei Rublev have advanced to the third round of men's singles.
In football, Iran held India at a 0-0 draw in their 20th edition of AFC Women's Asian Cup India 2022 Group A clash at the D.Y. Patil Stadium yesterday. India had better chances, but determined defending by Iran kept the hosts at bay as both teams now set their sights on their next ties. India will be aiming for their first win when they face Chinese Taipei on Sunday, while Iran will face 8-time champions China. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. Srinagar and Jammu will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature in Srinagar will hover between 2 and 6 degrees Celsius and in Jammu 9 to 12 degrees Celsius. Leh is likely to have light snow. The minimum and maximum temperatures will hover between -10 and 0 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The temperature will hover between 0 and 7 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have rains. The minimum temperature was 6 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 13 degrees. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature was 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 17 degrees. In Mumbai, the minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 29. The city is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Chennai will have partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The city observed minimum temperature of 15 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 23. Visakhapatnam will have fog in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. The city observed minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 28 degrees. Guwahati, Imphal, Shillong will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers, and Agartala will have fog in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. The temperature will hover between 14 and 25 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Hindustan Times quotes the government as saying that vaccine is shielding India against the third wave of COVID. Pioneer quotes a study by The Lancet and reports that a booster dose neutralizes Omicron. New guidelines on treatment of kids. Daily cases over 3 lakh, reports the Asian Age. Vaccination for kids below 15 years to begin after scientific evidence, says Centre, writes The Statesman. Reservation not at odds with merit. Supreme Court upholds 27% OBC quota in NEET, headlines The Tribune. Supreme Court extends women's right to father's property to before 1956, reports The Times of India. Arunachal boy missing. Army contacts PLA. Father says abducted, writes the Indian Express. Sensex sinks 634 points to end below 60,000. Headlines Financial Express. And finally, Amar Jawan Jyoti is to be put out after 50 years today and merged with flame at National War Memorial, writes the Times of India.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches various India-assisted development projects with his Mauritius counterpart. Says robust development partnership emerged as a key pillar of close ties. Prime Minister to inaugurate new circuit house at Somnath Temple in Gujarat today. Filing of nominations for second phase of assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh begins today. Nominations for single phase assembly elections in Goa and Uttarakhand also start today. Government expresses concern over COVID surge in 6 states. Central teams sent to provide necessary guidance. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses 160 crore and 32 lakh mark. Pariksha Pe Charcha registration date extended till 27th of January. In cricket, India and South Africa to play their second ODI today at Boland Park in Pal. And in badminton, PV Sindhu and H.S. Pranoy enter the quarterfinals of Syed Modi International Tournament in Lucknow. For For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.